The life of the dodgy moto journalist. After filming Tim Coleman in Melbourne, I jammed myself into cattle class on the cheapest possible airline and fly into Sydney, where I've been invited to join a pile of Gumby riders on beaters. I've heard so much about riding in the WATAGANS, a brilliant riding area north of Sydney, and the peaceful scenery hides the tough, technical riding that lurks within. Rocks, climbs, rock slabs, rocks, steep descents, rocks, all topped off with some more rocks. This is just a taste of what's to come. It's a technical rider's paradise. I can't wait. So many beaters. Beta. But first, by law, the government says I need to include this map with any dirt riding videos, just in case you guys think of coming over here to try out the tracks. Don't. All the animals and insects want to kill you, you will get skin cancer, and we Australians will steal everything you own. Iraq or Syria are much nicer places and better weather too. Leading the ride is the man in the pink pants, who some of you may remember as Gamaroni Grahami from our La Dolce Vita video. And here we are with today's ride leader. Mate, today are you Cameron Graham or Gamaroni Grahami?
No, I've dropped that. I'm back to Cameron Graham, mate.
You're Australian, mate, not Italian.
No.
And guys, this is Jody South, who's the new beater dealer for, south of Sydney, based in Illawarra, and he provided me with this spectacular 390. Mate, thank you. I'll try and return it in 3 pieces or less. So guys, here we are in the WATAGANS, a very well-known riding spot for Sydney, guys. Under the dodgy expertise of our ride leader, we set off on a network of awesome single tracks that take us to various tricky climbs and descents. I thought the lack of rain might have made things more slippery than normal, but apparently all these rocky areas get treacherous when wet, so lucky it's dry, as the terrain is already challenging enough as it is. And how good are these tracks? And in a few spots even remind me a little bit of Canada. These aren't groomed or looked after by a club as they are in Canada, but just nice flowing single. You right? There are some very experienced riders in the group, showing impressive clutch control and hill climb technique as they take on the rock slabs. So lucky the camera wasn't going. Peak hour traffic. We get to the bridge where there are multiple lines to choose from, and none of them easy, unless you want to walk your bike through. You take the highway, Cameroni.
The highway, not the byway.
Not the byway.
Not the fucking tailway. Whoa, wait.
A few of the guys use the rut and leg paddle up, which is often a handy idea as the rear knobs get extra traction on the sides of the rut. I'm keen to try a trickier line which requires momentum to climb the off-camber rock face. Not enough speed. Yeah, she's a tricky approach. That's better. It would be fun to go back and have a few tries, but it's 32 degrees today and heat exhaustion is always a strong possibility in these conditions. And I'll need to make sure my 2.5 litres of water lasts, at least until we get a chance to top up. Everywhere I go, it seems that beater riders are possibly attracted to slower, more technical riding than most others. This would make sense. Most owners seem to like the lower seat height and extremely user-friendly power delivery. That are hallmarks of the Italian Princess. And I've read a number of reviews where test riders reckon that Beater's decades of trial bike experience has had an influence on their enduro bikes as well. Speaking of test riders, I'm keen to do a Gumby review of this 2017 RR390. It's the only 4-stroke beater I haven't ridden yet. I figured there would just be a small increase in power from the 350 and 390 through to the 430 and 480, but they all do have quite distinctive personalities. Recently, Traction E-Rag did a review of the entire 17 range and said the same thing. I'll do a review soon, but all I can say for now, this long stroke engine just might be the perfect engine capacity for many. Lots of fun. Very steep. A few of the guys want to try this ridiculously steep short climb. I have one go at it, but figure I'm likely to badly scratch this lone bike, so I chicken out.
Not enough speed.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, it was the line I tried.
But others have a go, and it's great to see some good dismounting technique.
Close.
I don't think I even saw one case of whiskey throttle the entire day.
Supportive audience.
Well done.
How'd you rate everyone so far, sir?
Oh, Gumby Plus.
That good.
Gumby Plus? Not sure how good that is, but I figure it has to be better than dodgy Gumby. For lunch, a change of scenery as we wind our way through a beautiful valley towards an old abandoned homestead for a bite to eat. The heat is really kicking in now, and I know I'm not drinking enough water, but still trying to stretch that 2.5 litres till our watering stop in another hour or two.
Yeah, it looks steep.
Oh, really?
More fun technical tracks as we wind our way back, including some fun steep bits I would normally love to play on, but I can feel the dehydration and resulting heat exhaustion just starting to kick in.
Not quite.
Do you want me to drop below it and you can lower it down to me?
finally, thankfully, our water stop. The pink pants improved your riding.
Improved my sex life.
My theory is girls are easier on the throttle, so your traction's probably better. You're not just senselessly roosting everywhere now.
It's so good to finally chug back a decent amount of water, but the dehydration has already set in, and I'm surprised I don't fall off the bike on the way back, as my judgment and balance get increasingly dodgy, and some nausea and a thumping headache kick in. Again, I was so impressed with everyone's traction skills up this loose, slippery hill. No excessive throttle, rear wheel weighted nicely, great body positioning. In fact, there was so much footage of good technique, I think I'll use it as a training vid about loose, slippery climbs in the near future.
Nice soft drop.
Actually, I'm not the only one getting heat exhaustion. News trickled in later that night of other guys getting quite sick, so it made for an interesting ride back for some of us. Idiots that we are, we still couldn't resist trying a few logs and obstacles on the return leg.
Better too slow than too fast.
The last thing I need. Even tilting my head makes this thumping headache way worse. An epic ride, and thanks to the beta dealers for making it happen. But later that night, and well into the next day, I was flat out in bed with heat exhaustion. So it was all just a timely reminder to carry extra water on our rides this summer. In fact, I might brush up on these vids I did about hot weather riding. All you Northern Hemisphere types playing in the snow, give it 6 months. Might be worth watching then. Catches.